We're here in great old Millington, Tennessee.
Them boys are ballers out here.
The city used to absolutely shut down. Football to this area is life.
Oh my gosh.
God sent for a coach.
You better get a helmet laid on you.
But dude just had a motor.
He's a baller. Millington has a lot of cornbread-fed athletes.
And you gonna be down for a second, for sure.
And like that's all I was focused on, just winning. Hunt. I'm finna go get somebody.
But we know he gonna lay a hard hit.
I already studied the film, already locked in.
And he would run through a brick wall.
I know exactly what they doing, who gonna guard me, what they doing.
Every time you get smacked, boom, everybody loud as they can.
Cause I don't got nothing to hold back no more. Even if they throw me a curveball, guess what? I'm gonna hit it, like, boom.
What about the other player involved in the deadly accident? What must he be going through?
We can't not let you not play football no more.
Everybody knows everybody. So when you come here and you go to school at Millington, you're a family, and you're a family for life.
And we're gonna show up for that boy's mama.
But I don't wanna kill nobody playing football or like this ever happen again.
Dana Payne took a critical hit to the chest on Tuesday during a routine play in football practice. The teammate involved may still feel overwhelmed with guilt.
My name is George Odum, a novice athlete. I play for San Francisco 49ers, and this is my story.
You hear my mama yelling from the stands at the very top, going crazy.
In Millington, kind of stayed in the country area in Millington. When I went to school, all my friends there. When I went, growing up in Memphis, Millington area, I stayed in like Frazier, North Haven. Kind of stayed all over the place a little bit. Kind of rough neighborhoods here and there. Then I stayed in the country in high school. It's fun and dangerous at the same time.
They stay right here, right here.
Back in middle school, I was going to Woodstock Middle School. My mama had going back and forth to work, and my sister was kind of like in high school a little bit, so it's like a few years apart. So she was in high school, I was in middle school. So she'll get home before me, and she'll already leave and go like to one of our cousin's house, something like that. And when I get home, it was like dark by myself. My mom probably working or something like that, and like I'm all there by myself, and just me and my dog. My dog Daisy come back and forth. Careful with her here. Never know. My mom will get there eventually, but like I don't see her like that. I had to feed myself a little bit. Then when we were going through little rough times, just the rough times was only a few years, but you remember those times the most, you know.
This is why you should live there, like, right here. Bro, this is crazy, man. Bro, very careful you step at too. Cars look the exact, man. I'm telling you, all this stuff look the same. I grew up right here, like couch right here. This how I had to live right here. This how it looked right here when I left. I used to have to wash our clothes. Wash our clothes in here. Man, I don't know what to say. surprised that shit works, man. And then the old house is fine, too. This is my room. Oh, this is my room I used to get a lot of workouts in. Fell in right here and it broke off. I was like, bro, after that, crazy. My brother used to play Madden right here all night. They sit on milk crates, literally. I'm gonna play that Madden while I'm asleep right here all night, all day. It bothered it. You know what I mean? I guess it made me better. Some way.
He had a flood down in his neighborhood where they lost the home, and he had to move up with an aunt and uncle, which was closer to where I lived, so it wasn't in district, so he pretty much rode to and from practice with me to school every day. A lot of times it didn't matter because his uncle had a business, and he would leave practice at 4:30 or 5 every afternoon, and he'd go work for 2 more hours with his uncle. In the summers, he'd come at 6 a.m. and he'd get his 6 a.m. workout, and he'd go work 8 hours with his uncle in their construction business, and he'd show back up at 6 p.m. and do another workout.
So what started football?
Yeah.
I started all my boys at football when they could run.
Don't never ever think you're gonna run a slant, a post, or a curl on George Odum. You're gonna get your head knocked off.
Next thing we know, we hear a big loud pop. Sure enough, it was George laying someone out again.
And he ran early. Unfortunately, his brothers thought it was cute to set him on fire, and he did not know how to walk, and he ran up the hallway and jumped in the tub. And ever since then, he's been running.
George has always been a staple in the community as well. They've always supported him, man. This small-knit community of Millington is family. To know where he came from, to go to Central Arkansas, and then come from that school and fight for the coach and become an all-pro. And that just does something for me as a coach to know that I could have played just a little part in that.
But he was good enough to play as a freshman. And then as a 10th grader, he started and played multiple positions. I think linebacker, defensive end, a little bit of and the reason we played him there because he was just a go-getter.
Dana Payne took a critical hit to the chest on Tuesday during a routine play in football practice.
I don't know if he went over the story with y'all about like the whole situation at football practice occurred where he had hit the guy at practice and he didn't make it.
Shit got serious. A lot of people missed school for the next couple days.
At practice my senior year, then Dana Payne, I ended up colliding into him in practice. He didn't have his inhaler and stuff like that. He lost his wind and ended up passing away later on that night. Moving forward, went over there and we went to the funeral and everything else with his mom.
They had his funeral up here at the big church, and I mean, cars for as far as you could see. Dana forever be missed. Accidents happen. George, I'm sure, probably went through a mental state that was pretty tough after that because you could only imagine how rough it could be.
After that turn point, George was he was kind of like, all right, he done with football. He's not gonna play football no more, or whatever it was. So we was like, nah, man, we can't not not play football no more. It's just a freak accident. It happened. He already knew what was in him, but he never knew what he was capable of. But once that happened, he knew what he was capable of, and he carried that throughout the whole entire football season.
I kind of finna quit football, so that's when I finna quit football. Like, man, all my teammates begging me to come back. Like, man, I'm finna done. Like, I don't want to cause no damage to nobody. I don't want to kill nobody playing football or this ever happen again.
Probably our first game, Coach Mike and them asked us did y'all want to play? We was like, shoot, why not? We lost a brother, we might well go out here and play for him. And there's no point of us just being in the locker room and just not have a first game.
Therefore, I ended up playing my first game.
George had a big night that night, a huge night.
Man, showed out. Man, I had a big hit on one guy, blew him up, and everybody kind of celebrated me and that was my coming back to football right there.
It was crazy. First interception, a forced fumble, it was crazy. It was crazy. I was like, hey, God work his ways. God work his ways, and that was the ways that God led George to where he wanted to be.
Yeah, we showed up, we showed out. Dana won't be forgotten. He never will be.
Is that just kind of like how the talent met like that?
Yeah, we're really close. Like, you mess with one, you mess with all.
I persevered through something so I can learn for the future. Like, if I've been through something like as a kid, I know for a fact it might could happen again, but I'm not finna just let it bother me. So I persevered through that.
But we all love him. Everybody loves him, and community's gonna be here for each other. So that's why Dana's number's been incorporated into the field, into the jerseys, on the locker room. He'll never be forgotten. He was a baller too.
And then kind of like in college, like I was, first few years, I was like always playing for like, kind of like me and him kind of like
George is a hometown boy. And especially like the people that he was really close with, even back then, he still keeps up with.
We're here to take care of each other, man. I know Coach Michaels has done the same, and man, Coach Wilmer has done the same. we have a multitude of guys that has, man, supported them and will continue to support them, man.
They have a standard for me too. Like all my whole community reached out to me. They have a standard and I have a standard for them. Like they have my back just like I got their back. And all the people reached out to me, I still have their back to this day.
Hey guys, get off that grill, it's hot and on fire. Y'all go back around in front of the pickup truck. See right over here in the shade, go up there in front of the shade until they get those burgers ready. We don't want y'all to get burned on this grill. I am Coach Michael, Chris Michael. I've been here, this will be my 15th season as head coach. I'm an alum of this school. Coach George and Keontae and a lot of these guys are here helping today. They've come through that are alums. So I've been around this community, grew up in this community. Snap ball, go get ball. That was George. That was, you know, his easiest thing ever. And you didn't have to coach him. And when you did coach him, it stuck like glue, which was a godsend for a coach.
I wanted to go into the Navy, almost like ROTC. I was doing that. So I was like, man, this looked promising and stuff like that. Then this dude named Coach Williams, I think he was a former coach at Mississippi State. He came from UCA. I think my 11th grade year, he came from UCA. He was like, hey, man, I want to get you up, see the college and stuff like that. So I'm like, dang, it could be opportunity. I'm like, dang, this is the first time I'm like hearing from a college, like ever. Like, oh man, I could probably play football in college. College, I'm finna outwork you on the bench. I'm finna outrun your ass. Nobody ran harder or faster than me in college, ever.
I had the head coach at the University of Memphis here, and Justin Fuente, and I told him, I said, you know, I played at Memphis, I got season tickets to Memphis, this kid can start for you next year. And they were like, well, we got him or a linebacker, and they chose to give their scholarship to the linebacker. So George signed with Central Arkansas. I said, well, you're gonna regret that.
George helped us, you know, we finished the first half with George getting the touchdown interception, then we finished the game being able to run the clock out.
What made you choose Central Arkansas?
Coach pressured me for sure. You know that they're gonna do that at the end. But then he said a funny quote, 10-1 here. Girl got ratio. So I was like, oh man, I'm going to college. I'm finna definitely go to that.
And then the rest is history, because as he achieved what he achieved over at Central Arkansas and obviously where he's at, you could see that though. As much time as we spent with him, he just kind of knew. It didn't know if it was going to be professional football, but whatever it was, this dude was going to be successful. Just going to be successful because that's the drive that kid had.
Did you always know you wanted to play in the NFL?
Never. I never knew I wanted to play in the NFL. I honestly didn't know I was gonna play in the NFL until I went over to Corey Taylor's sports performance, TTSP, and he worked the dog out of me. I gained 15 pounds in like 6 weeks. You know, you hold a certain standard to yourself. You know, I feel like I'm kind of one of the best, especially in college when I just came off a Defensive Player of the Year award, like in my whole conference. So it's like I didn't get drafted. My teammate got drafted in the 5th round. So I'm like, dang, like, it hurts, but then it's like, at the same time, your agent on the phone saying, hey, these two teams right here, like, not any team in particular, but team like, hey, look, we just drafted a guy, but we just heard about you late. We want to get you in. We're going to cut this guy we drafted for you. And then, so he's like, dang, this kind of like, now I started feeling nerve-wracking because it's untrustworthy right there. It's like, I don't trust that. Like, you just drafted a guy. You saying you're gonna fail him on his physical just to bring me in, like, I might not have an opportunity there. So it's like, boom. And then the coach called, and my agent knew the special team coach that he was like, hey, look, this kid right here got 91 special team tackles on in college in the last 4 years. He all defense, da-da. So he was like, hey, look, really give him a shot, da-da. I fit the size and everything else. But I was terrible at safety. I told them I want to play linebacker. I was terrible at safety. I'm doing box drills and stuff like that. I'm falling, slipping. I'm trying to do backpedal, breaking. I'm slopping, slipping. I'm like, dang, I'm terrible at this. You know how you backpedal, break, and then you open up? I couldn't even do that. So it's a big transition. And then sure, the coach picked me up. Alan Williams telling me, it's like kind of towards like first preseason game, Alan Williams telling me like, hey, that's after I made it to the NFL a little bit, like after the draft process and stuff like that. I thought I was gonna get drafted because all the teams were talking to me because they knew I had 91 special team tackles in college. So they was like, oh man, they started finding me out of nowhere because Tremont Smith, he ran like a 4.34 or something like that. And so like all the scouts like, dang, it's a fast corner right here. He had a lot of breakups like a corner. So they was like, oh, that's a big thing. Then he's like, the scouts, you know, on the sheet of paper, it's like, list 3 players you think they can make it to the NFL. And like all the people that I played against, like in the colleges and stuff like that, they were listing me on there. So, and then boom, the team started calling during the draft process. Boom, I was undrafted to the Colts, and that's when Alan Williams, like, met him. Started from there. Like if I'm on defense, I'm trying to be pick 6, or I'm talking shit, like or something. I'm trying to be that man out there. I'm trying to abuse you. Yeah, you can just sit down. You got a crazy face.
Yeah, so this is pretty groundbreaking for you to bring this to the area.
Yeah, I honestly been contemplating about it for years, honestly. I didn't think I would have that many people, so I didn't want to throw it.
Sure.
I wish I would have been doing it earlier on, because like the kids actually honestly need something they can look up to. If you're not doing it for them, like throwing something where they can go in and doing, they don't really know you too well. Brings the like you said, brings community together. People might end up being their best friends out here soon.
I know it's been a lot of chatter in the last month about he's coming into town. You know, you go into Walmart, you go into McDonald's, you go into whatever. It's coach, I'm coming to George's camp.
I didn't have that growing up. I went to one camp my whole life.
Boom, from playing to coaching now.
Of having an NFL guy who they could actually put their hands on.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't cuffing my clock, they tugging it. Putting up numbers, 99 problems, and I still kept it 100. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. They ain't cuffing my clock, they tugging it. Putting up numbers, 99 problems, and I still kept it 100. Yeah, who don't play, 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 play. Who don't play, 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 play. Who don't play, 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 play. Who don't play, play.
Hey, party! Let go. Hey, y'all sure got some good work today. It's hot out here. You work every day, you can make it anywhere. I went to this school right here, high school. Hard work gonna take you anywhere you go. In the classrooms, at home. You do stuff for your mama asks you, man, guess what? She probably give you some money or something. You never know. Do it before it's told, bro. Y'all know what y'all need to do. Y'all wanna play football? Go play football. Go do the drills we just did today. Go do the drills. Look, I'm on YouTube. Do some drills, bro. Like I said, bro. Your plate got food on it. What we do? Eat. Let's go.
Good job, Gio. Good man touch too. Good man touch too.
Hey, man. Eat on 3. 1, 2, 3. Eat.
You can't have a door without no hinges. You know, the hinges are the little things, but they matter the most. You know. You can't have no great foundation without the little wires in between them, you know. It's like the little small things, like your footsteps. Like I can't go block somebody and I'm like this. Just like the little things, like just me giving my message out to the kids. I just hope they just pick up on the little small details of like consistency, hard work, and passion. Just like having a love for the game and just like love what you're doing. I love having fun. I love going out there to run and play and not argue or fight with people. Just like love to interact with people, love being around people and enjoy the moment.